Good Monday evening. I'm Tanae Howard. A Greencastle man tied up, kidnapped, and robbed. What police are telling us about this terrifying case. Here in Vancouver, where the devil is bringing the heat to the TV screens this winter. We're going to give you some behind the scenes looks, but in a surprising twist, prosecutors dropped a bombshell, telling the court Cox admitted to having had inappropriate relationships with other students. Indiana IMPD says all three victims are in stable condition tonight. Now, they have not released a description of that suspect, as this investigation is still in the very early stages. Now, on the flip side of this, there is a school nearby. We are told no juveniles were involved in this incident. And, you know, those high tense, high stress moments. Then people are going to watch this interview and they're going to say, that's not the same guy.
Oh no, I have good days.
You're quite gentle and tender.
So much to see people like this on live TV. That is a prime example of Carve Day. When I tell you, you don't know what you're going to get. Totally wasn't expecting that, right?
Hey there, Dan and Fanchon. We are here with the Clinton campaign, and it is just a mix of emotions going on right now. That's because this race is so tight. A lot of those key battleground states and states that they hope will be toss-ups are just too close to call right now. Mr. Yaz is back with us, guys. Look what just happened. Live TV is just so lovely. This is Bryce Gray. We all know him as Hakeem Lion. You look great tonight.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. I just saw you this morning. We're old friends. Now changed my dress. You have on a very dapper tailored suit. Who you're wearing tonight?
I'm not even sure, but
it looks great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fans are watching you. We're at Lethal Weapon, which is going to be the new lead-in to you guys. Tell me, what can we, expect out of Empire this season?
It's going to be great. It was our best work. Season 3 is our best work. It's going to be great, and we're happy to have them on our family too.
And Indianapolis is looking forward to season 3. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing what the crazy Lion family has to bring to us this season. All right, guys, we are live here in Hollywood. Tanae Howard, Fox 59 News.
This is News Point at 11.
Good Tuesday evening. I'm Tanae Howard, and tonight on News Point, a Spencer neighborhood is pretty upset over stray bullets hitting their homes, all because of a nearby gun range. What the gun range manager is telling Fox 59 about that issue tonight. And several robbers try to break into a business safe not once but twice. We're going to show you how their desperate attempt was all caught on camera. But first tonight, more wintry weather hitting central Indiana. Right now, we are tracking some snow here on Live Guardian Radar. Let's check in now with your Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist, Brian Wilkes. Hey, Brian. All right, see you soon. Thanks, Brian. Caught on camera not once but twice. These burglars were so determined that they showed up to the same store 2 nights in a row. But they ended up not getting away with a thing. Fox 59's Lindsay Eaton shows us why police say these guys are going to be pretty easy to catch. Thank you, Lindsay. We are following a developing story on the northeast side tonight. Arlington Community High School officials say 2 13-year-old boys are accused of sexual misconduct involving a 13-year-old girl. This happened back in February. IPS released a statement saying, quote, after school officials were notified of the allegations, they immediately made reports to Child Protective Services and Title IX. This investigation is ongoing. A man is dead after a helicopter crash in White County. It happened this afternoon on County Road 700, about a mile outside the small town of Chalmers. Police say the helicopter was being used to put up power lines on new poles when it crashed. The pilot died in that accident. The National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA are investigating. No word yet on why that chopper went down. Some people living near a gun range in Spencer say their houses and property are getting hit by bullets. A gun range owner previously told those homeowners he was going to pay for the damage from the ammunition, but they say they have been waiting until state police can actually finish their investigation and find out if the gun range really is responsible. Kathy Wise says her house has been hit the most. She wants the rifle range to stay shut down until their safety can be guaranteed. The Owen County Sheriff is going to meet with state police tomorrow to talk about the investigation. He does expect to know more about who is responsible soon. 2 teenagers are facing criminal charges tonight after this crazy fight you see here. It broke out over the weekend at the CC's Pizza on the south side. People who were inside the restaurant at the time say this all went down because one woman accused another woman of cutting in line. Video of the fight shows chairs being thrown. The brawl even spilled out into the parking lot. Police arrested 18-year-old Deshaun Mumford and a 15-year-old boy. Police continue to crack down on drug dealing across the city of Indianapolis. Last week, IMPD made nearly half a dozen drug busts. The most recent included two 19-year-olds who police say were supplying drugs in places like Zionsville. And as the narcotics unit continues to follow up on those anonymous tips coming in, officers are pretty confident they are just hours away from catching yet another dealer. The latest tonight from Delphi, where the prosecutor says detectives may have already met whoever killed two teenage girls. They just don't know it yet. Abby Williams and Libby German were found murdered in the woods 1 month ago. Since then, about 70 subpoenas and a couple of search warrants have been served for cell phones, computers, and phone records. Investigators are still waiting on DNA test results that could help identify the killer. And if you have any information about this case, we do have all the information for you to call or send an email with those anonymous tips on fox59.com. Tonight, Muncie Community Schools is turning to the state to help dig the district out of a financial crisis. Everything they have tried so far has just flat out failed, causing parents, teachers, and students to rally before board meetings. At tonight's meeting, the board approved a plan to ask the state's Distress Unit Appeal Board for a loan. The superintendent says the maximum the district could receive if the state approves would be about $5 million, but the budget shortfall is at about $15 million. The superintendent says the district would not concede any roles to the state, but doesn't know if the state would put any conditions on a potential loan. Next, the district will submit financial documents to the state for consideration. Well, winter is going out with a flat-out bang. If you got too spoiled with those little dips of spring coming in,
oh yeah,
think
big
again.
Dips, really.
Big dips.
About it. February was the warmest February on record, and right now our average temperature for March is colder than it was in February.
Wow.
So everything's flip-flopped tonight.
Brian, see you soon. A man who struggled with drug addiction for years is celebrating a major milestone tonight. How he became drug-free for the past year and the incredible changes he says he's experiencing in his new life. And good news if you have children. Researchers say you might actually live longer than those without kids. We'll show you why. Walking in that hospital room earlier today to see this 25-year-old woman so badly beaten and battered, it was just something that literally took your breath away. But she sat there with such bravery to tell the story of one of the darkest nights in her life. 25-year-old Carly Hager is not a victim. She's a survivor who lived to tell her story.
And he tried to rip my tongue out with his bare fingers from here all the way up to here. And he succeeded halfway.
From her hospital bed with bruises and bite marks all over her body, Carly recalled the traumatizing episode with her mother by her side. She says she and her now ex-boyfriend, 26-year-old Ryan Cameron, returned home from a wedding Saturday night with friends. After launching a verbal assault, things got physical.
He locked his friends outside of our house and ran to the bathroom and locked us in the bathroom.
That's where Carly says Ryan bit off a piece of her ear and she was beaten until she passed out.
I woke up to Ryan just sitting next to me like he thought I was dead.
Those friends called police, a move Julian Center CEO Catherine O'Connor says may have saved Carly's life.
Those people intervened. They did what they could to stop the situation, and they called the police to make sure something happened to protect this victim. And that's exactly what should happen.
Carly's mother says she didn't see any warning signs, but these visible signs won't define her baby girl.
Her strength and beauty is inside, and the scars will heal. And in time, so will her heart. And I'm incredibly proud of you.
Carly says after a loving 2-year relationship, the mental, verbal, and physical abuse just started about a month ago. She wants this story to warn others not to ignore the signs and know this is not what love looks like.
You have to tell somebody. You can't be embarrassed. You can't be ashamed. You have to tell somebody because I almost died, and it can happen.
And again, 26-year-old Ryan Cameron is in jail tonight facing a list of felony counts in connection to that assault. Now, the family has set up a GoFundMe account to help pay for these medical expenses, as it will be a long road ahead for Carly. We'll have that information for you at fox59.com. From Eskenazi Health, Tanae Howard, Fox 59 News.
It's been a a true blessing to have my life back.
The cloud has been lifted. After battling with drugs for more than a decade, 30-year-old Greg Holman has been clean and sober for 1 year. He's in a loving relationship and spending more time with his family.
I notice things every day now that I never noticed before, and that it just passed by, just like a nice sunset, you know, a good family dinner, that intimate bond that was broken for so long. And now having that back, it means so much to me.
After 12 rehab attempts and several trips to jail, Greg was the first patient to receive NAD infusion therapy, a 10-day IV treatment that replenishes patients with a naturally occurring compound called nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It targets the area of the brain that deals with cravings.
Everything I looked up seemed very positive and hopeful. And I did my own research on it. I said, well, what can I lose?
And let's talk about what you gained.
I don't think we have enough time for all of that.
Emerald Neuro Recovery Centers is the first clinic to offer the treatment in central Indiana. Joe Pappas opened the center after losing his own son to a drug overdose.
Significant part of my grieving process has come through here, and it's turned to a joy when I see other people being helped.
And seeing Greg become the man he was meant to be all along.
I don't get any more joy out of anything than coming in here and seeing somebody get their life back and seeing the progressive stages day by day, seeing their smile come back, seeing their appetite come back, seeing who they truly are come back. And it's a phenomenal thing.
In Hamilton County, Tanae Howard, CBS 4 News.